Hi, my name is Theo, and you are listening to Between Two Trains. We bring you the best and brightest entrepreneurs in the North DeKalb area on the 1st and 15th of every month. Today, your co-hosts are Van Pappas and Eric Most. And now, Between Two Trains.
Welcome, I'm Van Pappas.
And I'm Eric Most.
And you're listening to Between Two Trains. We come to you on the 1st and the 15th of every month with a great entrepreneur. And Eric, we have something fun. We're going to do a format change where we're throwing out the Hot or Not. I know everyone loved Hot or Not. I know you're shaking your head. You love the Hot or Not. But we're going to play a fun game for a prize for our guest. And let me introduce our guest to you. His name is Bobby Bryde from the new Gusto restaurant. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So, Bobby, Gusto, tell us what Gusto is.
Gusto is sort of our mantra. It's sort of what we are, it's part of our culture, what we live by. It comes from a Dale Carnegie quote. It basically says, shake yourself awake. I won't go through the whole quote, but it starts, shake yourself awake, and ends with live today with gusto. And that's sort of how we train our team members. Everything is done in best sense of the guest. Taking care of the guests, serving great food, serving in a beautiful building, and being involved in the community. So everything we do, we like to do with gusto, which is vigor, zest, energy, that type of thing. So,
I never thought Dale Carnegie would make his way into retail restaurant.
That comes from our founder, Nate Hibble. He lives by a lot of that type of energy.
So Nate was a football player, is
True.
That correct?
Yes, he was.
What is his story?
His story, as best as I know, he was actually, he was an All-American quarterback in high school at Jefferson Davis High School in Hazelhurst, Georgia. His father was actually the coach, and he received a scholarship to Georgia. He redshirted his freshman year. I don't remember, but I don't think he got the playing time, so he transferred to Oklahoma, became the starting quarterback there, and his senior year was Rose Bowl MVP.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty accomplished. He went on to be drafted. He was, I believe, by Cleveland, and then eventually he moved on to Jacksonville, and I don't know if he ever played. I mean, he knows more about, I can't tell you everything, but he knows more about it, but I can't remember if he played, but he was in the league about 5 years before retiring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Eric was a football player as well.
Oh, wow.
For Notre Dame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would have been playing. Yeah, I was the punter.
He's modest.
Hey, you're on the team, man.
Yep, on the team.
At least you weren't Rudy, right?
Actually, the best thing is when people run across people who don't like Notre Dame. I'm like, hey, I would have been your favorite guy.
I'm just a punter.
Kicking it to your most athletic athlete.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to turn around.
So then Nate got out of football and decided to start a restaurant.
Well, it wasn't, I don't know if it went that way, but he was an athlete, so he wanted to try to eat healthy to nourish his body, but he wanted to get it quickly. And that was, at that time, you're going back in the, I guess, early 2000s, wasn't out there. It wasn't an option. So he took it upon himself.
It was just McDonald's and
pretty
fast
much
food junk.
Exactly.
Yep.
He took it amongst himself to pretty much start honing and got out and started working, washing dishes, learning the restaurant business. Got out and worked for several different brands and just immersed himself in the restaurant industry to learn it for several years. And then from that point, he started working on recipes and had some people involved with him. He eventually, from what I understand, he was in a minivan walking around with pots and pans to get investors, and he eventually succeeded, and here we are today.
It's pretty impressive that somebody who had the vision would start out washing dishes and kind of operationally work different aspects of the
well,
whole.
he knew he had no background, so he had to pretty much learn it from the bottom up. And he worked for several different chains. He went everything from, I think, fast casual to fine dining.
Mm-hmm.
So he learned the gamut of the industry. So
how important is that for an entrepreneur who has the vision?
Yeah, I think it was pretty smart because a lot of people in this business, they think the restaurant business is glamorous. It's you just open the doors and let it run itself, and that's not the case. It's a lot of hard work. And a lot of people go into it inexperienced, thinking they can just hire the right people, and that's hard to do too. sort of a thing that people think they can do, but it doesn't always happen that way.
So he was able to start it, but now he's been able to scale. And the Chamblee location is location number 5 in
Yes.
Atlanta.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we started in 2014, and we're already up to 5 locations.
Pretty much one a year. Actually, we're celebrating our 5th year anniversary Friday, tomorrow.
Nice.
Great.
And I believe I read somewhere that y'all actually have already started on a 6th location over by Chastain Park.
This is true, yes. Yes, and a 7th one right behind that. So
there are plans.
the plans
for
are
expansion.
moving. Yeah, we're moving, yeah. And they're also eventually looking at sites outside the Atlanta market, too, in the southeast.
But Chamblee is a little different than your other 4 stores. Tell us why.
Yes. One, our first drive-through. That was a big deal for us because none of our stores have drive-throughs, and we had never done a drive-through, so it was a new thing for us. But we knew in this area, with the demographics we were looking at, it was necessary. It was also our first building that we built from the ground up. Most of our current locations were existing locations we went in and renovated, or it was part of a shopping center built out. So this was our first from the ground up. So it was a unique concept in that respect, where it was all new to us from that regard.
Well, what was the reason for coming to Chamblee to do that? I mean, Atlanta is a big,
Sure.
metropolitan area.
It was sort of, I guess, the next step for us. Our current locations, we have one in Buckhead, or sort of Midtown, down on Peachtree across from Piedmont Hospital. Our second location is on Ponce de Leon across from Claremont Hotel. So that's more downtown. Our third location is in Decatur, right there across from Emory Hospital. And our fourth location is in West Midtown. We're sort of behind Atlantic Station, IKEA, over in that area. So I think the natural progression was to move a little further out, staying within the perimeter. And looking at different areas, Chamblee was the best fit for us. It was a growing area, a developing area, but at the same time, it sort of fit the demographics that we look for: millennials, young families, high disposable income. And like I said, we saw the growth pattern, and we're able to, work it out.
Did some of that multifamily that's recently been built and still being built in Chamblee, did that go into that decision making?
I believe so. Yeah. Mm-hmm, definitely.
I mean, because that brings a lot of bodies to the area.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
really walking distance to your location.
Yeah, we see in MARTA. I mean, that's another key for us too. A lot of our team members use the MARTA system, so it works out well for us in terms of getting people in to work for us also.
Tell us a little bit about the food. So you mentioned, healthy stuff like that.
We call it fresh food fast. Again, like I said, we're fast casual, so it's very quickly served. It's prepared. All the food is prepared daily. Everything is made from scratch. Grilled proteins, fresh fruits and vegetables, homemade dressings and sauces. But it's basically a pretty simple process. For people who first come in, we have to sort of educate a little bit and explain it. But it's basically a 3-step process. So the first thing they do is choose what we call a style. That is either a bowl or a wrap. The bowl can be mixed greens, jasmine brown rice, half and half for the people who can't decide, and that's our most popular option, or a flatbread wrap. And in that wrap, they can also have the greens and rice in there also. Then they choose a protein. The protein choices are grilled chicken, grilled spicy chicken, grilled shrimp, and for the vegans and vegetarians, we have grilled portobello mushrooms and fresh avocado. So that goes on top of that, and then on top of that goes what we call the Gusto. The Gusto is basically a mix of fresh fruits and vegetables that are tossed in a homemade dressing. Each has a distinct international flavor profile. It also comes with a side of sauce and a garnish. So, for example, we have 6 choices, and they go anywhere from Mediterranean to Thai to Greek to Tex-Mex to Korean barbecue to Japanese. So it's a vast array of flavors. It's not just like a Mexican, like a Chipotle, for example.
Sure. Very interesting. It sounds like it's been a popular, with the amount you've been able to scale. It sounds like it's been very popular. Is that what you've seen at the other locations throughout the city?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, it's an alternative. It is healthy, fresh food, fast. We try not to identify it and label it as healthy because we want to put out disclaimers, because there are some things that the caloric content is a little higher, but it is still vegetables, fruits, meats, and salads.
What's our price point? What are we talking about for one of those bowls?
One of those bowls starts at $9.25, and then depending on you get into the shrimp and portobello, it's a little more up to about $11.95.
Okay.
Yeah, and it also comes with one other thing I forgot to mention. It comes with a side of fresh sweet potato chips that we make every day.
Sweet potato chips.
Sweet potato chips, something a little unique.
Ooh, I like sweet potato
Yeah.
chips.
And one other thing we do unique at beverage-wise, we also do fresh squeezed limeade, something you don't find every day.
Interesting.
So there's a few,
to
like I
get
said,
away from the typical sodas that
Exactly.
are really not good
exactly.
for us.
So we have, like I said, something that I think sets aside. We have the limeade, the sweet potato chips, and how many fast casual places can you find grilled shrimp?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not found.
So you've got the drive-through, you've got the fast casual retail. Do you do catering? Is that
We do that also. Yes, we just started that offer, and we do catering in all our locations. But we have a catering department, have a catering manager, assistant catering manager. They're out there beating the streets right now, and they're already doing. I think the first 2 weeks we did about $5,000-6,000 in sales, net sales, which was great for a good start.
So the catering is done out of each individual location rather than
Yes.
just one location
Right.
that's doing catering for all of Atlanta.
Yes, each location.
That's unusual. Typically, you see with the restaurants that do catering, they might
Right.
have like one of their locations geared towards.
Yeah, and once we grow, it may evolve into that, like a catering hub maybe. But right now, it's worked real well, and the stores that we have now are actually doing a very good job of catering. They're doing really good sales, so really high sales. So we're just starting out, so we're getting out in the market. We have a sort of a territory guideline, but it'll be pretty good bit of DeKalb County, pretty much.
I want to ask about employees. Our country is at historic low unemployment, and just about everyone who wants a job has a job. Opening this new store in Chamblee, how difficult was it for you to get employees? I mean, was that a challenge because people have jobs, or?
It's always a challenge, but I mean, there are jobs out there. I mean, we try to treat it a little different. I think one thing we're big on, as much as we're big on the food and the building and the environment, we sort of, and let me explain, I guess the best way for me to explain it to you is sort of how we treat our team members. We treat them like family. We have, if you look a lot at like sort of a corporate structure of a company, you got the CEOs at the top and the team members at the bottom. We sort of flip that. We call our base team, because it is the base of the pyramid, basically at the bottom. From that, it goes up to the local operating partners, to your management, up to your team members, to your guests. So if the base team and support team will take care of the operating partners, who are taking care of the managers, who take care of the members will take care of the guest. And
That's
so,
an interesting philosophy, coming, bottom up rather than top down.
Right. We found that's the way it has to be, and that will attract team members.
They get buy-in to, hey, it's
a different culture.
This is not just a job.
Right, it's a culture. It's different. It's unique. It's not what you find in the normal restaurant business, and that's something we're trying to do. Besides just putting out great food, is really take care of our team members and treat them like family.
Do you find that because you have that culture that you have less turnover on employees?
That's one part of the goal.
Like store number one was, you said Midtown? Is that where you said it was?
That was Peachtree, yes. Sir.
Peachtree.
Yeah.
So do we still have team members from year one?
We do, but yeah, we
That's
do.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do a few. But like I said, that's just part of the business. There's going to be turnover. That's probably one of the biggest, most critical components of the restaurant business. Yeah, it's just
that's the way they are.
Exactly. I mean, today, unfortunately, we're in a time, like you said, where you can get a job, and you don't like it, you can go right down the street the next day and find a job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way the restaurant business is.
Let's cross our fingers and hope that continues for a while.
We hope so. I mean, we went through a little bit of turnover, just from the fact that you always have that opening part of where it's just some people it's a good fit, some people it's not.
Right.
They'll find out real quick, and we find out real quick, and then we just keep hiring. I mean, one thing I've learned in this business is you're always hiring. Mm-hmm. Every time, you don't get complacent. Ever. You're always looking for A players. You have the C players, you try to mold into the B players, the B players, the A players. But some C players you try to mold, and that doesn't happen. We move on, but we also try to do what we call exit interviews too. If somebody's leaving us, we want to sit down with them and have a talk with them. Why you're leaving? What can we do to be better? One other thing we do, we don't do employee reviews. We do what we call herd sessions. Herd is a big word for us. It's a mentality. It's part of our culture in terms of how we communicate. Did I get you? I hear you. I got you. And so we don't call it a team member employee review. We call it a herd session, which basically means we sit down and we basically have a conversation like we are right now. It's a two-way conversation. It's not just me talking to you and telling you, here's your good points, here's the bad points. It's tell us what we can do to make you better, and vice versa.
Sounds like some Oklahoma Sooner terminology there. Maybe he's bringing that back from
Maybe.
Midwest.
Maybe.
Bringing that college football mentality.
Maybe that's part
I tell
of
you
it.
what, I want to kind of apply for a job.
What do you think? I mean, growing organization, they're expanding restaurant by year.
Yeah.
They've got plans for the Southeast. If you're an employee and you're career-minded,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be on the ground
Similar
floor
to
of,
what-
of the next Chick-fil-A.
similar to
It's-
what Nate did,
Yeah,
work
it's-
in the kitchen.
It's what attracted me to it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking for an opportunity where I could grow, have an opportunity to basically have like ownership mentality, which they pretty much let you. It's your business to run. They're there to help you and support you, but it's your business. You make the decisions for the most part, based on their parameters. But at the same time, yeah, it's a great opportunity for people who want to establish a career in the business. Like you said, it's ground floor, brand new, expanding and growing, and it's a different concept, and it's a good culture, and it's open. And that's one big thing that it's a passion of mine. And another thing that I liked about this company was it's one of their passions is growing and developing talent. That's a big thing. Is I'm trying to develop people under me to take my position and so on and so forth down the road. Mm-hmm. So we want to get team members already. We're working with team members to convert and train and coach into shift lead positions and management positions. So it's an ongoing process. It's constantly training, developing, coaching, and honing people to move up within the company. That's how you grow the company.
Well, we're almost up to our break for our commercial, but before we do, I want to talk just one more second about the drive-thru, since this is different. Now,
Sure.
you've been open for a couple weeks now as of today's recording, and what have you seen out of that drive-thru? Is it working? Is it, have you had to tweak some in the beginning here?
A little, again, it was brand new for us, so we weren't really sure going into it what was going to happen. We had a whole nother new POS system that we had to put into the system that we didn't have in our other stores. So that was the learning curve there. Beyond that, it was just more of we had a sort of a script, the people in place. We went through, in fact, we did some training pre-opening where we had the chamber members got an invite, and we ran them through the drive-thru during lunch for a couple of days just to give us some guinea pigs basically to come through and see how it worked.
Thank you, Chamblee Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. Well, it was free food for them, so I'm sure they didn't mind. But it was good for us because it gave us, the opportunity to hone it and work on it. And then from that point, it's been pretty smooth. Like I said, we haven't been overwhelmed. The parking lot is not perfect. It's a little difficult for people to park. That's probably our biggest disadvantage right now.
It's a small lot.
It's a small lot, yeah. But we also have the road down in the Texaco parking lot that we share with them, so we worked that out. And then, you have, of course, it's not convenient, but you do have the Lowe's across the street and the Whole Foods.
I was going to say, for our listeners who may not know exactly where you're at, you're located right across from the Lowe's on Peachtree Boulevard,
Right.
So right as you come into Chamblee.
Right, and right next to the Whole Foods shopping center.
Whole Foods
Yep.
Shopping
Mhm.
Center.
Right. Yeah, but again, like I said, it's the drive-through so far is accounted for about 35-40% of our sales, and it's right now it's been very smooth. We haven't had any backups or long lines going out on the Peachtree Road Boulevard. So I feel like so far we're knocking out of the park pretty well.
Good. Well, Eric, we have to come up to our break, but guess what? We have exciting news.
What's that?
We have a new sponsor at Between Two Trains. The Chamblee Ace Hardware is coming on board to be a partner with Between Two Trains, and they have donated a gift card that we are going to give to Bobby if he can answer some questions right after the break. Stay tuned to hear from our other sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Looking for an affordable, functional, and creative space to work? Check out 3411 Co-working in downtown Chamblee. They have flexible month-to-month office space options that include fiber internet, meeting rooms, printing, coffee, snacks, and networking events. 3411 Co-working is the perfect place for entrepreneurs, remote workers, and small business owners looking for a one-stop shop for your professional needs. Stop by for a tour Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and see how 3411 Co-working can work for you.
All right, welcome back to Between Two Trains. So we come to you twice a month from the beautiful studios at 3411 Co-working on Pierce Drive. If you need office space, come check them out. They're a great location. And as I mentioned before the break, we have a new sponsor, the Chamblee Ace Hardware. Of course, you know Ace is the place for the help for hardware folks. You know that slogan, right, Eric?
I do.
Yeah. So go see Brian, Stacy, and the rest of the awesome staff at Ace for your next home project. So, Eric, here are the rules. You're going to give Bobby some questions. You're going to give him 3 answers to select from.
Yep.
If he answers it correct, if he answers 2 of the 3 questions or 3 of the 3 questions, he will win this beautiful gift card from Ace Hardware. You ready to go? Bobby, you ready?
Yeah, I need a blower, so let's go.
You need a blow. Well,
Yeah.
you can go into
Right.
Ace Hardware in Chamblee Plaza, and located right there on Peachtree Boulevard, just down the street from you, and get that blower and use this gift card to do it.
Sounds good.
All right, here we go. This portion is going to be about what do you know about the word gusto?
Appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to be on topic. So, a 1970s radio campaign titled "Go for the Gusto" was for which organization? Either A Nike commercial that was discarded and replaced with the phrase "Just do it." B, a series of beer commercials for Schlitz beer. Or C, a marketing slogan by Stone Mountain Park to get people to climb up the mountain.
Let's go with B.
He is correct.
He is correct. The Schlitz beer. Go
That's
for the
right.
Gusto.
In the 70s, you remember those beer commercials?
My
in the
dad
70s?
used to drink Schlitz. That's
Schlitz
how I
beer.
know that.
Now, here's an interesting fact, Eric. So that commercial was a big flop for Schlitz, and it actually pushed, they used to be the number 2 beer manufacturer in America in the 70s, and after that campaign, they lost the number 2 reign.
You're telling me they schlitzed from the top?
They did not have the gusto.
It's too bad.
All right, question number 2, 1 for 1. That's a
1
great
for
start.
1.
Coming hot out of the gate. All right, question number 2 for Bobby. Which of these quotes from famous people are real? Julia Child said, "People who are not interested in food always seem rather dry and unloving and don't have a real gusto for life." Option B, actress Christy Alley said, "I failed at marriage, but I'd rather go into anything with gusto and fail than to go into it half-assed." Or C, Weird Al Yankovic said, "Now's the time to go for all the gusto you can grab. You'll have plenty of time to be low-key when you're laid out on the slab."
Wow, okay, that's a tough one.
Ooh, which
I was gonna say-
celebrities
I was gonna
use
say,
the
I
word
got-
gusto?
Yeah, I was gonna say all 3 of those sound like something they would say, but let's go for Julia Child.
You are correct. It actually is all 3.
Oh, well,
They are all real statements.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say it sounded just like something they would say. So fantastic.
Yes.
Great.
Well, you can't go wrong there. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, let's go for this perfect run here
Sure.
with Bobby from Gusto. The word gusto is best known for which of these? What tugboat captains have to do when their friend Gus's boat breaks down? Option B.
What was that?
Who came up with that?
What was that? What tugboat captains what?
What tugboat captains have to do when their friend Gus's boat breaks down?
Okay. All right, go for it.
Option B. The name of my third cousin on my mother's side.
His name Gusto?
Well, that's an option.
Ooh.
Or C. An Atlanta-based fast casual restaurant.
Ooh, I don't know if I don't know. But I'm going to go with C.
There we go.
Yes, you are correct.
Perfect.
The best known name of the word Gusto is a fast casual restaurant in Atlanta Marketplace.
Nice.
So thank you, Bobby. You win the Ace
Appreciate
gift card.
Everyone,
go buy that blower from Ace and make sure you step in. On that, you see Brian's card there. Say hello to Brian Fisk, the owner.
Look forward to meeting Brian.
Check that out.
Sounds good.
Everyone knows the rules. 3 for 3. He gets the card.
3 for 3, yeah.
Nice.
What do you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. At least we started coming out of the gate. We came out with Gusto.
Gusto.
Yeah,
we came out of the gate with our new game with Gusto.
Live life with Gusto.
So, Bobby, before we end the episode, tell us what do you want out of this partnership with Chamblee? Where do you see it going?
Well, we've already made some inroads. We look at it, like I said, we don't want to just look at it as a restaurant that's serving the community good food. We want to be a partner in the community. We were already involved with some nonprofits. We're doing, in fact,
I know y'all did something with the chamber. Y'all served food at one of their events.
We did. One of their first Chamblee City events was like Meet the City of Chamblee people.
Yeah.
We also are already involved with Angel Flights here in DeKalb County at the airport. We're doing, as part of our 5th anniversary party this Friday, a certain percentage of our proceeds for sales that day will be donated to them.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we're already involved with them and doing some things with them. And we have several other nonprofits we're starting to align ourselves with and be involved with. We also are very involved with the community in terms of churches, schools,
swimming, tennis
sports.
clubs.
Yes, all those.
Oh, I see. Eric, I see a new partner for the Huntley Hills Swim and Tennis Club.
Well,
we've actually already talked to people at Huntley Hills. We're
already
on the we're already on the map. So we're definitely involved with that.
So if someone wants to cater their kid's birthday or whatever event they have, is there a phone number they should call, or just stop by the store?
Just stop by there. Ask for Brittany Allison, who is our catering manager, or Chad Goff, who is our assistant catering manager, and they can help you.
Just come by the store and
they can come by the store or call the number. Of course, you can ask me the number, and I don't have my phone with me.
Can you just do it online? Is there a website?
You can actually go online. Yes.
What's
also, whatsyourgusto.com.
Whatsyourgusto.com.
You got it.
I like that. Yeah. It's a great URL.
Definitely, thank you,
Eric. Any parting words from Chase Bank?
I can't wait. Well, I can't wait to try. I can't wait to try it.
I've had it. It's really good.
We've got a Chase Bank location, essentially diagonal across the street, and
I bank at Chase too, so even better.
Even better.
Nice.
Well, I'm gonna go into that branch and tell the team there that when they get their little lunch break, just walk across the street and go get some food.
Go ask for Bobby.
Sounds good. Yes, glad to meet him.
Thank you, Bobby, so much for coming on the show. And those listening, if you are listening on your computer, great. If you want to listen to us in your car, you just open up any of your favorite podcasting apps, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes. We're on all of those, and check us out. And we will be back in 2 weeks with another great entrepreneur on Between Two Trains. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.